Morgan, everybody loves to talk about investing. They love to talk about saving money. But I've never heard anybody emphasize the importance of spending money. You've written this book, The Art of Spending. So it begs the question, why would someone like you, who sells tens of millions of copies of their books when they write about something and really cares about the art of writing, commit themselves to writing a book about the art of spending when you could have written anything that you wanted to and it would have been a success?
So I've written about money and finance and investing for 20 years. And almost never had I myself said, what is my spending philosophy? I can tell you how I invest. I can tell you how I save. I can tell you why I do those things. If 5 years ago, if you said, Morgan, tell me your philosophy about spending in your own life, I'd be like, I don't really know. And as I looked into it, there are literally tens of thousands of books on how to invest, how to grow your money, how to get rich, how to help your career. That topic is endless. There is virtually no book out there written about spending money. And I think the reason why is because I think we intuitively think nothing needs to be said because the answer should be obvious. More is better, fancier is better. That's the end of the topic. But if you know particularly wealthier people, I mean, it affects everybody, but particularly wealthier people, you know it's not that simple. That the correlation between how much you spend and how happy you are, it can exist. Everyone can spend money in a way that's going to make them happier, but it is not as simple as you think. And as I started digging into it in my own life, of when have I been envious of other people, of their material possessions? Why was I envious? When have I been jealous? Why was I jealous? What kind of spending made me happy? What left me completely flat? It's a much more complicated topic than it seems at the surface. You know, another title for the book could have been The Psychology of Spending Money, because that's what this is. So it's a look at the psychology of greed and envy and social aspiration and like climbing the social ladder, who you're trying to impress, whether those people are paying any attention to you. That's what this book is.
So for someone like me who wants to improve my relationship with spending, I guess the first question is, understanding the art of spending money, simple choices for a rich, what is it going to do for me? How is it going to make my life better to understand this? Why does it matter to the person that's listening right now?
I think it is a very easy assumption to make if you're unhappy with your life, that if you had more money, those problems would go away.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be true. It's not automatically false. It's just easier to assume that that's true than it actually is. And so I guarantee you that every single person listening to this right now has some degree of that. If I